Hey, good day, everyone. This is Rob Sparrow, and I'm here with Dalton Ammerman. We're on the campus of UNLV in the Health and Wellness Recreation Center in Las Vegas, Nevada for our NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase. And I'll let Dalton introduce our teams. They're going to be competing in match number 2 in our professional men's volleyball matchup.
Well, here for our second match, we got Blizzard Volleyball coming out of Southern California. They're going up against Lights Out, who hail from Chicago. Blizzard Volleyball have a couple big stars on their team. We're looking out for Russell Holmes and also David Lee coming in off the bench. Other than that, it's a pretty young squad with a lot of big and strong guys. When we looking at Lights Out, looks a little bit more of a smaller and athletic team. We look for some high flyers on the pins and a really fast offense coming from Connor Eaton, their setter.
So we concluded our first match earlier this morning. It was a great, entertaining match between the rising tide of the Washington, D.C., Chesapeake area against the other Chicago team, the Icemen. Want to share a few thoughts on that match there, Dalton?
Yeah, it started off pretty neck and neck, but after the first set, the Icemen were able to pull away, coming from a really aggressive from the service line, and BJ Bulldog able to spread out that offense using all of his attackers at his will. The Rising Tide seemed to struggle a little bit in their serve receive, but they also have a couple players that apparently were not on site yet, and they're on their way now. So it should be interesting to see how they can bounce back from that first match.
In this match right here, we got a few big hitters. One of the deepest benches of the tournament here has definitely be on the Blizzard side. He talked about some of the players that are representing Blizzard from the SoCal or Lake Forest area of California.
So a couple guys that you guys are wanting to be looking out for is Steve Irvin, who played at Stanford, graduated in 2014, has been playing a couple years over professionally in Europe. Also be looking out for Paul Lottman, who will be showing up tomorrow to be playing for the Blizzard team. We also have Russell Holmes in the middle, who's played professionally in Austria, Brazil, Turkey, and Poland, and also on the national team. After that, we got Scott Hartley, 6'5" outside hitter coming from Hawaii, who flies and hits the heck out of the ball.
And then, of course, let's check out our guys from Chicago, Illinois, Lights Out. There's some of the guys that, one of the names that stuck out on the roster is Ryan Owens. He's only played at Orange Coast College, which you are familiar with. Dalton, why don't you let us know your connection between you and OCC?
That's right. I just took the job over there as the strength conditioning coordinator and also the assistant for the men's and women's program over there. But even though it is a junior college, they do produce some very high-level volleyball players.
So Ryan Owens has been playing professionally abroad in multiple countries, but the ones that are of notice are Italy and Finland. Played for Blue Volley Verona, which is an Italian powerhouse, and he's now here playing in the NVA.
That's right. He's been playing I think he's been playing professionally for quite some time now, about 8 to possibly 10 years, but the guy just loves the game and he can't get enough. I talked to him today and he's couldn't be more excited to be a part of this first showcase for the NVA.
Yeah, we're about ready to get going here at match time. We've got 3 zeros across the scoreboard, means it's match time for match number 2 of our NVA Professional Volleyball Showcase. So I'm with Dalton Ammerman. We'll be back on the horn in just a few moments. You got men's professional volleyball in the United States right here, courtesy of the NVA MGM Grand, and we're here on the campus of UNLV in the Health and Recreation Center here. We'll be right back in just a few moments. So we have
Lights out.
Hey, once again, welcome back, volleyball fans. We're here on the campus of UNLV for our NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase. I'm here with Dalton Ammerman in match number 2 of our NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase. We've got the Lights Out team from Chicago, Illinois, taking on the Blizzard from SoCal, Lake Forest, California. Mark Sherman taking on the MC host duties here, courtside, to meet our starting lineups in match number 2 in our pro volleyball matchup. We'll be pausing for the national anthem, so bear with us. We'll be right back in a few moments.
Serving at home and around the world with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you.
Hey fans, welcome back. We're about to catch match number 2 of our NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase matchup featuring Chicago Lights Out against SoCal's Blizzard. We'll be meeting our starting lineups in a few moments here. I'm here with Dalton Ammerman. And if you missed us a few moments ago, we were talking about some of the teams here locally in the area, particularly for Blizzard. Got a few standouts coming from a few universities in the area. UC Irvine, Stanford, Cal State, Long Beach, or AKA Long Beach State, Cal Baptist. Well, Hawaii's not so close, but they're in the MPSF and now the Big West. And one gentleman from BYU, national team member, former national team member, and 2012 Olympian, Russ Holmes. And I will let the Long Beach State alum Dalton Ammerman talk about the other marquee name on the Blizzard roster. That would be...
That one's going to be David Lee, another Long Beach State alumni and also national team member. Both of those guys in the middle are going to be quite the force to reckon with when they get out in the court. If Blizzard can pass a consistent ball and keep the team in system and set those guys a lot of balls, it's going to be really tough for a lot of teams to handle those guys.
We're meeting our starting lineup. Got first off for Lights Out, Ryan Owens from Orange Coast College. Also the libero coming out, number 3, Miguel Calvillo from St. Ambrose University in Iowa. In the middle, we have a 6'7" player from Cardinal Stritch, Noah Mater. For Lights Out, wearing the high fiver, 6'9" middle from Boston College, Brandon Poindexter. Wearing number 9, Jamian Hartley. He's a 6'7" opposite from Ball State University, the former Cardinal. A 6'5" outside from Lindenwood University, number 21, Kyle Overby. And last but not least, a 6'1" setter from Long Beach State. Finds his home down Chicago, Illinois, number 17, Connor Eaton. And then for Blizzard, starting off, got a 6'5" setter, Cole Fears from Stanford. An outside hitter, sitting at 6'5", played at Loyola High School and Stanford University, Stephen Irvin. In the middle, from Long Beach State, number 9, Ryan Meehan. And the libero, sitting at 6 foot, also a 49er, number 10, Kirk Francis. Coming off for the Blizzard bench from Cal Baptist, Johannes Brink. He'll be playing opposite, wearing number 30. And a 6'8" middle. Correction, we got to get Scott Hartley, a 6'5" outside from Hawaii. And rounding out the Blizzard lineup, 6'8" middle from BYU, finds his home, Fountain Valley, California, number 12, Russ Holmes, former national team member and Olympian for the USA. Early thoughts on this matchup, Dalton?
You know, I think it's going to be interesting to see if Blizzard can keep themselves in system to get the ball a lot to their middles, Ryan Meehan and Russ Holmes. In order for them to stay close with Lights Out in this match, I think they're going to need a heavy middle attack in order to balance out the block from Lights Out. Lights Out, looking at Lights Out, you want to look out for Jamian Hartley. The guy can jump really high and hit over the block, which is going to be a force to be reckoned with for this entire tournament. So you're going to want to watch him the whole time.
Connor Eaton to start off service for Lights Out in the black and yellow. Kind of a cool uniform there, don't you think, Dalton?
Yeah, not bad. Some really loud colors.
Connor Eaton with a hybrid serve. Goes cross court. Passing it up is Hartley. We got an early net violation called against Lights Out. That's Hartley caught in the string as Ryan Meehan steps back to serve for Blizzard. The former Long Beach State middle blocker. Good serve passed by Calvillo. Launching it, actually rejecting it at the outside. Big block for, that looks like Johannes Brink shutting it down. Brink, physical blocker at the right side for Blizzard. Jump serve into the net for point, going to Lights Out. 2 serving 1. Overby, a 6'5" outside from Lindenwood University from Chicago, Illinois. Overby with a lot of spin on the toss. Fears sets the middle. Big block in the middle by Noah Mater. Fears sets high out to Irvin. Soft touch by the block. And looking at the net is Jamian Hartley, wondering how that ball even got through.
Brink serving for Blizzard.
Johannes Brink back to serve for Blizzard. Got something going on here courtside. We are on pause for a brief moment. Our R1 is Dean Hoskin, and our R2 is Hanson Leong. Good float serve by Brink, goes up and over the net. Irvin picks it up on the hand pass. Irvin off the outside block. Irvin playing for John Costi up at Stanford. Great team, played with Brian Cook and a few other Stanford standouts. Brink floats it down the line. Ryan Owens, a right side attack tip by Jamie and Hartley. Irvin rolls it down the line. Ball's off the scaffolding up top. Owens rolls it. Fears goes right side to Brink and bangs it off the block. Johannes with some good power at the right side, eh, Dalton?
Yeah, he's definitely going to bring a lot of heat from it, especially from that D ball. If they can get that consistently going, that's going to be a solid force for them.
Good float serve. Ryan Owens has to take it with his hands. Noah Mater with a stop and pop in the middle for point, going to lights out. Rotating on for lights out, number 5, middle blocker Brandon Poindexter, leaving the libero Miguel Calvillo. Mater back to serve. Service line violation called against Mater and lights out. 6 serving to 2. Blizzard serving to lights out with Stephen Irvin back to serve. Played for high school powerhouse Loyola and Michael Boley. A lot of Boleys in volleyball. Jump serve into the net. All in a good way, of course. Great coach, Michael, and got a couple of sons that play up at UC Santa Barbara. Actually, not a couple, a trio of sons playing at UC Santa Barbara. Hartley back to serve for lights out. Former Ball State Cardinal. We're on a pause yet again. Not quite sure why we're on hold. Looks like we may have a rotation violation. Apparently, the second referee, Hanson Leong, has discovered that we have something not so right about the lights out rotation. Actually, it may be a Blizzard fault. They may have over-rotated. Nope, it's the lights out, and they're switching it up. Wrong switch on the libero and middle blocker.
Looks like possibly the middles were flipped around and then each other's positions. Either someone wrote the lineup wrong or the middles were in the wrong spot.
Well, it's corrected, and it's 3 serving to 6 with Hartley serving. Southpaw jump serve. Not a lot of power, but it's a good serve nonetheless. And bang, Hartley lights it up at the left pin.
Russell Holmes getting the middle to commit on that ball, giving Hartley a one-on-one chance to bang low cross court. Here you go, Russell rising up, one-on-one against the small blocker, Connor Eaton. He's going to have a lot of success in that scenario.
Ball's passed off the net by Owens. Hartley swinging away inside the block of Ryan Meehan. Point going lights out for serving to 7. That's a tough choice for a middle attacker. And do you choose to go up on the other side, on the middle attacker coming from the other side? And
you know, with someone as formidable as Russell Holmes, I mean, you got to respect that guy. And sometimes if it's a good pass, you have to jump on him just because, you know, if they do set him, it's going to be really tough to defend.
Free ball over by Brink, hand pass by Owens. Eaton sets Owens in the back row. Unfortunately rolls into the net. So we have 4 contacts called on the lights outside. We're in our first cycle timeout with Blizzard leading lights out, 8-4. So early on, can't really get a good assessment of how these teams are, but what have you seen so far?
Well, it's a slow start for both teams. I think that, you know, it's probably first match jitters. Everyone's still trying to get the vibe and you know, get the feeling of playing with each other. A lot of these guys don't consistently play with each other all the time, so I'm sure it's a new feel for some of them. But so far, Blizzard's coming out on top and bringing out a strong front. We're going to see if Lights Out can make a change here and try and find some momentum to bring him back into the game.
You know, Lights Out has been, I think, their own worst enemy so far. You know, a lot of balls are rolled into the net or net violations. And when they get it going, they're going to be a pretty formidable team.
That's right. They're going to be pretty dangerous once they get into a rhythm. Right now, there's just too many unforced errors, which is understandable after for the first match of the day. I'm sure things will calm down here shortly, and the game will be a lot tighter.
Well, teams are coming back out of the first technical timeout. Blizzard leads Lights Out 8-4 in set number 1. Going back to serve for Blizzard. I believe it's Cole Fears. Fears a pretty good beach player from what I understand. Fears, former Stanford Cardinal. Bumps it out to Kyle Overby. Overby rolls it down the line wisely. Proof that you don't need a lot of power, just placement.
That's right. Plenty of ways to kill a ball, Rob.
You mean there's not just hit hard and harder?
Well, I mean, that's what I like to do, but other people have different strategies.
Overby with a jump serve passed in the back by Francis. Outside attack by Johannes Brink. The hot hand early.
Up and over Brandon Poindexter on that point. I mean,
that's a big jumper.
He's getting up pretty high. It's top of the antenna and hitting that ball at a downward angle. It's a pretty impressive swing.
Jump serve by Hartley, pass by Owens. Eaton sets high out to Kyle Overby. That is a bomb at the left pin.
Really nice set there by Connor Eaton, getting that ball out to the pin fast, leaving that line open for his outside hitter.
Did he just give him a little too much respect as a blocker? Fierce back sets to Johannes Brink, who's blocked by Poindexter and Overby. And we have communication problems on the Blizzard side. Ryan Mahan trying to summon his inner setter, but Fears was already there.
That's the thing about middles. They always want to be setters, you know. You got to make sure you keep them in their place or they get out of control.
Connor Eaton back to serve, down 7-9. Ball set high out to Irvin. Jamie and Hartley, and that is a 10-finger discount. Both hands, all fingers, all on that ball.
Man, that's going to be tough to get through those arms. He is low and over the net and just swallowing that ball.
I mean, the penetration he had was like at a near, like, what is it, like a 20-degree angle, just penetrating over. 10 serving to 8 in that exchange. Ryan Meehan back to serve for Blizzard. Good pass by Calvillo. Back set. Hit wide by Kyle Overby. 11 serving to 8. Meehan with a jump float to Owens. Eaton sets the middle to Poindexter. Great knock in the middle. The thing that's crazy about Poindexter is when he goes up, his arm isn't even fully extended. He's jumping a lot higher than the ball's being set to him.
Yeah, I don't even think the guy has to jump, and he's already reaching over the net. So when he gets up, it's pretty tough to compete with.
9 serving 11. Overby with a jump serve. Pass by Hartley. Fears in the middle to Russ Holmes, who gets his first kill. Russ Holmes definitely has got game on today. Looking fit and strong. Quick reaction time by the former BYU and USA men's national team standout. High backs at the right side to Hartley. Dug by Johannes Brink. Fears bumps that's high out to Irvin. That is a huge block. Hartley and Poindexter turning out the lights. I guess it's lights out.
Putting up a roof over Irvin right there. That was.
Look at this replay. No replay on that. That was an incredible setup on the block at the outside pin.
Great close by Poindexter there.
Float serve deep. Francis with a hand pass. Fears sets Holmes. Got a net violation, but still a really good swing and good jump by Holmes in the middle.
Steve Irvin serving 3-0.
Stephen Irvin, Stanford outside hitter, played for John Costi, Ken Shibuya and crew. High toss on the jumper. Good pass in the net by Owens. Owens, touch on the attack is Fears. Jamie Hartley with a tip, and he's rejected. Look at the hang time on Hartley outside. He was waiting and waiting, but he just maintained that height on that jump.
Yeah, his float time was pretty impressive there.
Hollow bones.
Didn't seem like he was ever going to come down.
Because Jamie Hartley is getting contact with the ball at such a high point.
Right.
Scorching an ace. Stephen Irvin, 15 serving a 10. We have a team timeout taken by Lights Out. They were running with Blizzard early on, and just the serving run by Stephen Irvin has just really put them at this commanding 5-point lead.
Yeah, he's really leading the force on the offense and from the service line. Coming from Pacific Palisades, California, Irvin played a couple years professionally over in Europe, and as of late has told me that he's really excited to get his chance to play here on American soil.
Well, you can see the excitement in the players wanting to get this league started. They're coming out with their A game for sure.
Yeah,
They'd fit in there. They've still got that edge to play.
Yeah, a lot of guys have been training really hard for the past couple months for this tournament. I mean, everyone seems to be all in and really bought in on what we're trying to do here with the NVA, and this showcase is a heck of a way to start off this pro league.
We got Stephen Irvin with confirmed 2 kills for Blizzard. Certain that Russell Holmes also has 2 kills on 2 attempts with 0 errors. Overby with a good pass to Eaton. Jamie Hartley is knocked but dug off the block. Fears on the second ball attack goes long, but the reaction time off the block, how did Hartley get that ball up?
That was pretty impressive. You got to be pretty quick to play that ball up.
Especially he's hitting it as fast and as hard as he is, and he's
Right.
able to dig his own stuff.
Yep.
Hartley listed at 6'7" from Ball State University. Misses just a little bit wide. We reach our second technical timeout with Blizzard leading 16-11 here in set number 1. So right off the bat, we've got yet another, we have the makings for another good matchup here in our second match of the NVA Pro Showcase.
Looking at here at this Lights Out team, they almost have an army of guys over here versus the first match we had today, Rising Tide. I think they only had 1 sub sitting on the bench. It's interesting to see how many guys come from which area, but it's awesome to have 8 teams here at this tournament and bringing full squads and high talent as well.
Well, there definitely is an excitement and energy on the court for just for this to happen, but in each match you can see it. It's almost like there's nervous jitters. Vinny Devaney of Rising Tide in the last press conference had indicated he's like so excited he couldn't really sleep last night for this opportunity.
Right. You got a lot of guys here who have played in big matches or been on the national team or have played professionally, and you know they're still getting nervous about it because it's so exciting to actually be able to have the chance to play professional volleyball here in the U.S.
I mean, can you imagine being able to play in front of your family and friends?
Exactly.
Got a few onlookers on the court side. Seeing Russell Holmes back serve for Blizzard. Owens to the pass, and it's off the net right side. Overby with a big approach, bigger swing, but an even bigger block by Ryan Meehan. I think Hartley is going to go ahead and claim that he got some of that too. He gets the assist for showing up.
Exactly. As long as you can react to that ball, that's all that matters.
Russ Holmes standing at 6'8" from Fountain Valley, California. Overpass picked up by Brink. Swinging away is Hartley. Meehan going on the deep dish, beach style. And the R1, Dean Hoskin, can't let that one go.
We got 12-17,
12-17.
47, Tomas.
We got a substitution for Lights Out checking in. Number 47, Tomas Goldsmith for Ryan Owens, wearing number 2. Goldsmith, 6'2", outside and opposite from University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee. Jump serve pass by Irvin, sets middle to Meehan. Hartley with a two-hand dig, bumps that save by Calvillo. Irvin saves it. Meehan going wrist away. With a little body English on it. 18 serving to 12.
Really nice job here by Blizzard, staying in system and in transition, and Meehan getting up early and on time, hitting with range.
Cole Fears back to serve. Former Stanford Cardinal. Calvillo unable to get a good pass out. Eaton with a save. Free ball by Goldsmith. Francis passes perfectly to Fears. Hartley unleashes the beast within. Calvillo unable to contain it.
Yeah,
19, serving 12.
Once again, Meehan getting the middle to commit on him in the middle. Then you end up having Scott Hartley on the outside with one-on-one. That angle is going to be open all day for him.
Winding up is Noah Mader in the middle for point, going to lights out.
Mader back to serve. Poindexter back to the front row.
Mader serving 13 and 19 for lights out from Chicago. Mader with a big spin serve. Pass by Hartley, Fears out to Johannes Brink. Open seam at the block where he just hit it over Connor Eaton at the right side.
Yeah, Connor Eaton is one of the smaller setters in today's game, but he definitely makes up for it with his aggressiveness and tenacity with the way he plays.
The jump serve laser goes long, a really flat jump serve. Only way to fix that's a bunch of top spin. 14 serving to 20. Eaton going back serve, the former 49er. Fears sets out to Irvin, and Jamie and Hartley saying no thank you. Shuts it down at the outside, 15 serving at 20. Hartley, 6'7", with a big jump. Irvin looking for hands. Since Hartley's flying high and is at Poindexter, another big middle blocker, unable to get a nick on a finger, makes it 16 to 20. Eaton goes cross court on the hybrid. Fears sets the middle to Meehan. That goes long and lights out, putting together a solid run. Blizzard senses it, so Coach John Shea takes the timeout. What's happening there, Dalton?
Just a couple unforced errors from Blizzard that are allowing Lights Out to get back into the match. Lights Out's serve receive hasn't been too good for this entire match, which is kind of what's been keeping them out of it and not being able to run their offense. Now that they're starting to gain a little momentum, I think this could carry them into this first set and possibly propel them to a win.
Propel, elevates. I like these terms here.
Got to get the vocab going a little bit.
We have to pontificate.
Oh, there you go.
As long as we don't bloviate. Connor Eaton steps back to serve. Only down by 3 now. The Lights Out team taking advantage of the unforced errors by Blizzard. Float, jump, float, pass by Francis. Another Long Beach. Oh, man. Kyle Overby. You know, I usually save this for a really big block, but he was so high, I have to call it the wall of shame. That was the wall of shame block.
I mean, the whole front row for Blizzard right now, or for Lights Out, excuse me, is going to be pretty tough to hit pass when they get a good solid block up there.
They're touching everything.
Yeah.
Until Connor Eaton gets up there, but he's just soft blocking and picking up. The defenders are picking it up. But with a solid blocking by Lights Out, you know, it's okay to have that.
Exactly.
Jump serve by Ian Castellana, who just checked in. Poindexter knocks by the block, got a scrappy dig. Got 4 contacts, so that was good, but we'll just trust our international officiating crew on the call on that one. 19 serving 21. Look at that, all within a pair in set number 1 in our NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase matchup with Kyle Overby back to serve. Good pass by Hartley in the middle. Russ Holmes, 3 for 3.
22-19.
I expect to see a lot more sets to Russ Holmes to try and give Blizzard a little bit more momentum at the end of this set.
22 serving to 19. Goldsmith with a pass. Eaton sets the middle. Poindexter. That is a crossbody crush for sure. 20 looking at 22. Substitution for Lights Out checking in. Larry Rather, 5'11" outside hitter from Ball State University. The Cardinals representing here.
That's right. Even though this Larry is really small, the guy jumps out of the gym and definitely packs a punch.
Dynamite does come in small packages.
Does.
Dalton. Service into the nets, 23 serving at 20. Back in for Lights Out. Brandon Poindexter for number 16, Larry Rather. Steven Irvin back to serve for Blizzard. Got a front row of Hartley, Fears, and Holmes for Blizzard. You have Mater, Eaton, and Poindexter. Service goes long, and it's 21 looking at 23. Jamie and Hartley back to serve for Lights Out. Hartley again listed at 6'5", correction, 6'7". Hartley on the jumper. Good pass by Francis. Sending fire in the hole is Scott Hartley. And it's set point Blizzard serving to 21.
Russ Holmes will serve for the set.
Russ Holmes going back to serve for our first set point in match number 2 for Blizzard. Great block in the middle by Ian Castellana. Checking in, the former anteater from UC Irvine. As Blizzard takes the first set, 25-21, and leads 1-0 in our best of 5 NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase matchup. All right, Dalton, what things stuck out for you in our after one set of play between our two squads?
You know, I just think Lights Out is just starting to get rolling a little bit. I'd look to see a lot more offense going for that, consistent offense coming from them in the second set once they get their serve receive under control. Other than that, Blizzard is staying on top of it. Russell Holmes hitting 1,000 on the day so far. And Scott Hartley, if they keep setting that guy the ball, it's going to be pretty tough to stop him. He's hit over the block several times already in one set.
Well, you know, the Blizzard kind of had a little lapse there. They let Lights Out go on a 4 or 5 point run that let Lights Out back into the match, which made it a little tighter than it probably had to have been.
Yeah, that's going to give them a little more confidence coming into the second set, letting them back up for air a little bit. And it should be interesting to see how this next set goes.
You know, definitely one thing that has stuck out for me for the Lights Out team is blocking. Just the height of the block has been pretty crazy.
Not only are they up really high, but I mean their penetration is just unbelievable. When you get, if the set's too tight at all, I mean it's going to be really hard for guys to get beat it past that block.
And we saw just a few of them that were touched that actually were connected on, that just went straight down and fast because they're so big and strong.
Yeah.
But then again, Blizzard's got such a deep bench and they're pretty physical themselves.
And I'd say that both of these squads are pretty evenly matched. I mean, you got high flyers on pins from both sides and then some serious size in the middle for both teams.
So, interesting matchup. In the earlier broadcast, or in match number 1, you'd mentioned that at one point, volleyball was primarily a coastal / California-ish sport, but we've noticed a growth across the nation with solid talent coming from so many different regions now.
Right, right. You see that a lot coming from the Chicago team. I mean, so many high-level players that played professionally and played in Division I ball that it's cool to see the talent pool spread out a little bit all across the U.S.
I'll take even some of the big names in the game. They come from like upstate New York. Who would have thought that years ago? You know.
Right.
Then you got the uprising in Arizona. The club teams in Wisconsin, St. Louis, Missouri. They're all considered the Midwest. It's like they're their own areas, so to speak. Yeah, even people in Colorado.
Yeah, I know, right? Who would ever thought people played volleyball in Colorado?
That's right. I'll give props out to Big Bro, Ryan Ammerman, the NCAA Division I champion, UC Irvine Anteaters, most outstanding player. That's a big year for your brother.
2009, he really stepped it up and made some huge strides as a player. And then getting that MVP in that Final Four was just, he stepped up and played like a man. When the lights got bright, he only got better.
Yep. There's so many stories for each player on the court. Even if we look out here, you can see some standouts from Hawaii, from Long Beach State, from Stanford, even the schools like Lindenwood University, Ball State. You got representation from Iowa schools like St. Ambrose, the Libero, Miguel Calvillo from St. Ambrose. But there's solid talent across the nation. It's just a matter of discovering it and giving them the stage so to highlight or show it.
Exactly.
Zappia now in for Blizzard. Kyle Overby with a downtown pound. Overby has a really good arm swing at the right side. Check on the replay here. Just high cross. Look at that shallow angle.
It's a real nice swing and real nice set there by Connor Eaton, getting that one-on-one block on the back set.
And that's another Chicago boy. Kyle Overby, big swing at the right side. Went to Lindenwood University in St. Louis, Missouri. Stephen Irvin. If we got a shot of that block of Hartley and Poindexter, you could just see that they are heads and shoulders above the net. It's the matchup that Irvin has to go up against.
Just realizing that he's not going to be able to power through that block, so he just makes a smart shot, hits about 70%, and tools it off out of bounds.
And then Poindexter comes and just thumps it by the block of Castellana. Castellana's listed 6'5", but with a jump that Poindexter's got on the other side of the net, and he's listed at 6'9".
Yeah.
So he has jump and height on Castellana.
When he's up that early, it's going to be hard for Castellana to even reach the ball.
Got a miss hit in the middle for Blizzard. Not sure if the score is good. It's right, lights out on at least the score we're looking at in-house may not be correct, but the score on the screen is correct. 3-1 lights out. We're looking for a lift call on the lights out side, but none to be found, and it's 4-1 for lights out. Brandon Poindexter, back serve. Poindexter from Boston College. Club program there. Free ball up and over. Francis with a hand pass. Fears sets the middle. And Noah Mader with a rejection in the middle. 5 serving 1 for lights out. Castellana also went to San Clemente High School in Southern California. Fears sets the back set to Johannes Brink, the consistent hand for the Blizzard, which brings Stephen Irvin back to serve. Irvin listed at 6'5", finds his home in Pacific Palisades, California. Jump serve off the tape. The trickler, ace.
Gotta love those free tricklers.
Do you find them being a momentum creator or a momentum crusher?
A little bit of both, depending on which side you're on.
When you hit the tar out of the ball, and it just hits the tape and just trickles over.
That's right.
Anticlimactic. Oh, and
Another great
Irvin
serve for Irvin.
scraping the paint on that end line. Stephen Irvin getting the ace, 4 serving 5. Yeah, I can't take any teams too lightly here. There's no room to mess around.
Yeah, the talent is pretty high spread across the board in this tournament.
they definitely capitalize on those moments. They're able to end long runs and get right back into it. Eaton back sets to Jamian Hartley, dug by Francis. Hartley on the transition bomb, puts it away. Kirk Francis gets the Man of Steel award.
Just holding his ground right there. That was a heck of a dig, and then Scott Hartley coming in transition and banging high off the hands.
It's the silent warrior wearing the white tights. Scores tied at 5s. Irvin back to serve once again for Blizzard. Great jump serve. Overby, too hot to handle.
And then Blizzard coming out in the second set, having some ball control issues, but Irvin is really bringing him back into this set from the service line.
It's 6-5 Blizzard after being down 5-1. They've gone on their own 5-point run to take the lead here in our second set. So what did Blizzard do to get right back into that?
Well, it's momentum swings that can, change the pace of the game just like that. And especially after that trickle serve, and then Irvin got another ace. That's a lot of energy that they're building off of. And then Kirk gets a big dig like that. That's going to raise the level of everyone around him. Players feed off of that stuff, especially when they're on your team.
How about this for a stat line? Steven Irvin, 4 aces already. And it's not like he had one trickler, but all of them, the other, have been just lasers.
He's been bringing it for sure. To see if Lights Out makes a change here, to see if they can establish a solid serve receive.
It's 6 serving to 5. Blizzard, after being down 1-5, have taken a 6-5 lead here in our second set. Irvin with very high toss, a lot of spin. Looked like it was another one, but it was close.
Good serving run from Steve Irvin. You got 6-6 in set number 2.
We're tied at 6s here in set number 2. Jamian Hartley steps back to serve for Lights Out. Hartley 6-7 opposite. Wow, pass is good by Irvin. Johannes Brink sneaks it inside the block of Noah Mader. And it's 7-6 Blizzard. Ian Castellana to serve.
Castellana serving at 7-6.
Jump serve goes long by Castellana. The graduate student also at UC Irvine. 7 serving 7. Going back serve is Tomas Goldsmith. Jump serve toss is high with a lot of spin. Goes down the line. Hartley passes tight on the net. Fears with the magic dump, but picked up and taking out the trash is Johannes Brink. As we reach our first technical timeout, 8-7. As Blizzard leads Lights Out here in set number 2. Look at that. Attempted pancake, but to no avail as Fears. As y'all know, setters are desperate for kills, so they'll take any opportunity they can get on those overpasses. So Blizzard showing a little resiliency, not being kept down at 5-1 and have pulled within a 7-8 matchup here.
Yeah, a lot of energy and fire coming from the bench from David Lee and Russell Holmes, really leading these guys. It's got to be great having such, great experience around you. I'm sure they have a lot that they can teach these young guys on the team.
So it's great about this crew of guys, the leaders on the team, so to speak. David Lee is a team captain, so is Russ Holmes. But David Lee from Alpine, San Diego area, serving as a team captain. As a player, I'd be in awe to be able to play for a guy with such a name in the game.
Yeah.
And then the same with Russ Holmes. They read his story. He did not start playing volleyball until his junior year in high school. And he picked up the talent and his national team Olympic quality.
There's a lot of guys like that on the national team. I know Taylor Sander also didn't start playing until he was a sophomore or junior in high school as well. A couple late bloomers.
Speaking of Taylor Sander, one of his former teammates is Johannes Brink. They played at Norco High School together. Won a CIF, a Southern Regional, won the championship that year. is a super stacked team from Norco, California. Jump serve by Mater misses way too long, and we scores 9-8. Blizzard in the lead. Scott Hartley back to serve, the 6'5" outside from Hawaii. Actually finds him in Encinitas, but went to the University of Hawaii. Slapping it in the middle, Brandon Poindexter. He's just such a great athlete, Brandon Poindexter.
Yeah, when he's up that early and hitting with vision and range, it's really going to be hard to stop that guy.
Connor Eaton going back to serve. The former Santa Margarita High School Eagle and also Long Beach State alum got a net violation called against Kyle Overby, but not before Johannes Brink takes a whack at it. And it's 10-9 Blizzard. Zappia steps in to serve for Blizzard. John Zappia was listed as a middle blocker, went to UCLA. Overby winning the joust of the net, but they're calling a centerline violation against Overby. 11 serve to 9. So Cole Fears, Stephen Irvin, all former Stanford Cardinal out on the court for Blizzard. Overby knocks it by the block of Castellana and Irvin. Also representing on the court, you obviously got Hartley from the University of Hawaii, Johannes Brink from Cal Baptist, all representing the now former MPSF conference in D1 volleyball. Jump serve pass by Hartley. Fears sets Castellana, who unloads in the middle.
Castellana, another undersized middle, but he gets up and his arm is so quick that he can beat it past a lot of guys, even if they are 4 or 5 inches taller than he is.
Well, he's in a gym where he's competing with 6'8", 6'9" middle blockers at UC Irvine. Jamie Hartley, another great swing.
Just going from 2 to 2 right there, hitting the ball almost.
Look at this attack by Hartley.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
And that's going to be a pretty hard ball to dig right there when he's hitting it on the 10-foot line cross court.
Unless it's Kirk Francis, who's been taking bombs this entire match. As he steps in the pass, that soft serve. Johannes Brink hits it long. 12 serving 12. Brandon Poindexter going back serve for lights out. Johannes Brink on the screen there saying, oh, that was my bad. Good set, my bad. A little confusion there by Francis. It was handcuffed and had to go to the underhand pass and went back to trying to set it over. Outside set going to Goldsmith. Fears sets Castellana in the middle. Attempted save. Great effort by Connor Eaton going Hulk mode. But it falls over on the lights outside. 13-12 Blizzard. Stephen Irvin going back to serve for Blizzard. 13-12. Jump serves pass by Calvillo. Good wind up in the middle by Noah Mater. Now the ball's passed, leading more towards the left front, but Mater adjusting to where the setter Eaton was at. Found his setter, put up his arm, and gave him a good target. Jamie Hartley jump serves into the net. Point going to Blizzard up 14-13. Ian Castellana serving. Had a pretty deep and solid squad here on the Blizzard side. I'm sure guys are chomping at the bit to get their playing time in. Noah Mater with a little shake and bake now, going quick back attack.
Tell you what, between Mater and Poindexter, those two as middle offense are going to be pretty hard to stop this tournament. And with all these guys sitting here on the bench, I think a lot of them are going to get a lot of at least a little bit of playing time, because this is a pretty long tournament. I mean, 2 matches today, 2 matches tomorrow.
Yeah.
Guys are playing a lot of volleyball.
Hartley with a hand pass, and Kyle Overby going beast mode at the outside.
Up and over the right side block. That was pretty impressive.
Slow motion on the attack. Check this out here. Cole Fears goes up the block, does his best. That was just over.
Yeah.
Cole Fears is not a small block. He's 6'5". And Overby stands also at 6'5". Goldsmith with a tough serve to Irvin, but a good pass to Fears. Mater and Overby shutting them down in the middle as they reach our second technical timeout. But this time, lights out in the lead by 2, 16-14. It's interesting how this match is now shifting to the lights outside. You know, they've kind of figured out our middles are okay. We can get this going if we start feeding our middles.
Yeah. You see right there, a really good help from Overby from the left side block, making it really hard for Blizzard's middle to get it past them.
Well, it was a great setup on the outside there of that block for sure. One of the things I was talking to Coach Shea of Blizzard, he's like, the problem that he has that other teams don't have is he got depth in the middle. He can go 4, 5, 6 deep if he needs to.
Right. I mean, I think they have.
They have Marty Ross,
2 or 3, yeah.
Ian Castellana, Russ Holmes, Ryan Meehan, David Lee.
Take your pick. I mean, the talent just keeps going.
Then there's a few other teams that are setter heavy. You've got Riley McKibben, Jeff Schmitz, the Cabney United. And then still, we still have yet to see a fully staffed Riptide team that we saw play earlier this morning. They've got some cannons who are flying in today. Jump serve roll, Kyle Overby. What's another good nickname for that kind of jump serve? It's kind of a 3/4 speed swing.
I'd just say an off-speed serve. I mean,
a loopy.
Yeah, little loopy serve.
But that may be too beachy. The beach people may get offended that I'm stealing a term.
For sure.
Jump serve by Smith. The Goldsmith goes wide and long. And it's 15 serving to 17. Cole Fears going back to serve. Fears comes from a very influential setter program in Stanford. Let's throw some names down there. Kavika Shoji, James Shaw, Kevin Hansen, all Stanford setters. Great, great players. Oh, and I forgot Evan Berry as well, who's on one of the squads here. Connor Eaton with a little showboating on the set, gets it out to Overby, who takes care of business.
Little chatter through the net. Connor Eaton has been known to never shy away from a little smack talk.
Verbal joust.
That's right.
Just don't bring a dagger to a sword fight. Going back to serve for lights out is Larry Rather, who subs in, the former Ball State Cardinal. Another opportunity as he serves it into the net. 17 serving to 18, bringing Scott Hartley back to serve. Hartley with a soft jump serve, pass by Goldsmith. Jamie and Hartley and Stephen Irvin providing the access denied. Check out.
Stephen Irvin making a nice move inside, getting low and over and blocking that ball with that left hand.
He humbly claims the block. Just leaves it hanging. Kind of like that basketball movie, White Man Can't Jump. You just kind of leave the hand out there.
Yeah. leave the follow through up there, let everyone know.
18 serving to 18. Hartley is serving again for Blizzard. A lot of punch, but into the string. 1918 for Lights Out, the Chicago, Illinois team. Going back to serve, Connor Eaton. Hand pass by Kirk Francis. Fears to the right side at Brink, who's rejected by Overby. Save by Calvillo. Eaton sets right back to Hartley, Jamie and Irvin swings way high at the outside for point going to Blizzard. Which brings Blizzard back to the service line, tied at 19s with John Zappia back to serve. Points going to Lights Out. Kyle Overby back to serve. Overby serving, 20 served to 19. Big blast on the jumper, but Francis steps behind it. Irvin, look at that jump. That's levitation right there. Stephen Irvin banging high off the block at Jamie and Hartley, and we're tied at 20s.
Irvin with a really nice swing there, but I tell you what, Kirk Francis has just been a solid foundation and service for these guys. If I was lights out, I'd keep the ball away from him.
Irvin lined up right on Hartley, but unable to get back to it defensively was Irvin or even Francis playing defense behind him. Some of these guys just hitting so hard and so down. They're definitely shell shock material.
Yeah.
Johannes Brink with a lunge jump out of the back row. We've got blackjacks at 21-21 here in set number 2 of our NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase. Irvin from Pacific Palisades, California. The teams that he's all played on at Loyola have had jump serve for ace. Johannes Brink so fired up when he went to tap Irvin on the head, it almost gave him whiplash. 22 serving to 21.
You know what they say, if you can't handle the celebration, don't make the good play.
Irvin back to serve once again for Blizzard. Overview of the pass to net. Eaton sets out to Goldsmith. Irvin gets a little Mikasa tattoo on his shoulder. The high ball heat. Irvin luckily got his head out of the way and let his shoulder take it. Jamie and Hartley back to serve for Lights Out. The 6'7" opposite from Ball State University. Ball is passed, bias to the left side. Hartley gets up, but Connor Eaton's gonna claim it. The 6'1" beast blocker from Long Beach State gets it to give Lights Out the 23-22 lead. I'm pretty sure he's sending a message to you. Dalton's like, Dalton, you may have been at beach, but I'm blocking, man.
Oh, without a doubt, he's stoked on that block. But I mean, really, Hartley's with how high Hartley jumps, he's just bringing that ball down into Connor. I mean, if he's getting that ball at its peak, he should be hitting over the top of him.
But sometimes that big bang gets a lot of attention.
Exactly, right?
Who are some of the big hitters that you've seen so far after, we'll say, 1.5 matches of play in our NVA showcase?
Well, in this match, probably Johannes Brink, Scott Hartley. We got Jamie and Hartley for Lights Out. Then also Jay Petty and Joe Smalzer from the Iceman this morning. Were very efficient on the pin attacking. I
agree with you on all that right there for sure. Petty definitely rose up to the occasion in our first set, and yeah, Jamie and Hartley here has been just a monster. Fears winning the joust at the net with Goldsmith. Hartley rolls it. What's the call? Back row attacker violation. And we're tied at 23s.
23-23, first to 2.
Ian Castellano back to serve for Blizzard. Castellano, 6'5" middle from San Clemente, California. Jump serve pass by Overby. Eaton sets Bick. Overby hits it into the net, and we have our first set point in our second set. Ian Castellano back to serve for Blizzard. Big opportunity missed by Lights Out. Ball's passed almost over the net, and the beast, Connor Eaton, winning at the joust. It's got to be frustrating. You got a big middle blocker losing the joust against a 6-1 setter. Tied at 24s.
That's something that the guys on the bench aren't going to let you live down after this game is over.
24-24, Lights Out serve to Blizzard here in set number 2. Goldsmith with the serve to Hartley. Fears back sets to Brink. Dug by Calvillo, up and over. Zappi with a hand pass. Fears sets out to Hartley. Hartley hits it long, and the tables have turned. Set point Lights Out, serving at 24. A little flip here. Tomas Goldsmith from UW, University of Wisconsin, not Washington. Good pass by Irvin. Hartley knocks it off the tape and just inside the sideline. Scores tied at 25s. Cole Fears, a 6'5" setter from Stanford, back to serve for Blizzard.
I'd look to see them go to the middle here.
Ooh. They go high out to Overby and uses and abuses the block of Johannes Brink. And we have set point number 2 serving the 25. Noah Mader serving for Lights Out. 26-25 or set point serving 25. Soft serve passed by Francis, tight on the net to Fears. Eaton with a stab dig. Free ball by Tomas Goldsmith. Francis with a hand pass. Fears out to Brink. Brink dug by Goldsmith. Free ball over by Overby. Irvin steps in on the pass. Fears in the middle. Oh, we had an early celebration by Poindexter, but luckily we had a double contact on the Blizzard side, and Lights Out takes our second set 27-25 to tie our best of 5 matchup at 1 set apiece.
I think Tomas dug that with his calf.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was blocked by our monitor, but it was an awkward kind of dig. There's a weird spin off of it. Well, he's been doing his calf raises, so I think he's in a good position to dig off any part of his body.
Any way you can, you know. Just keep the ball off the floor.
That's right. 27-25 victory for Lights Out in dramatic fashion. Interesting to see how they've come back into this one. I think I'll have to say the charismatic leader, Connor Eaton of Lights Out, getting some big blocks and winning some jousts at the net. He stands at a towering 6'1".
Towering 6'1". I think his ego is probably 7'2", and his height is 6'1", but no, he's a fierce competitor, and he's definitely leading this team.
And those tats are intimidating, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but he's been playing really well and got them back into this match with some big blocks and some. That's the fact of the matter is when you're not the most physical guy, i.e. shorter, and you do something big, it fires up the rest of the team.
Definitely does, and it's good that Lights Out has finally got their ball control underway, because in that second set they went to the middle quite a bit, and you saw how advantageous it was for them.
On the Blizzard side, and I'm still in awe of Kirk Francis's play. I mean, he's been taking some bombs. Unfortunately, Blizzard unable to capitalize on transition.
Yeah, when I played with him at Long Beach, he was the same way. Just nails and serve receive, and then just never afraid on defense. Doesn't matter how fast the ball was coming, the guy would always hold his ground.
Kirk Francis from Long Beach State University, I believe he went to Torrance High School, is that correct? From South Bay?
Yeah, I believe you're right.
So we're here on the campus of UNLV in the Wellness and Recreation Center for our NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase. Got some great action here going on. Trying to get some stats for you on some of the players. I'm Rob Sparrow, and I'm here with Dalton Ammerman for our inaugural NVA Showcase, Men's Pro Volleyball in the USA. It's a great and historic moment and opportunity for everyone here involved.
Yeah, if you have a chance or you're around Las Vegas this weekend, I would definitely make it over to UNLV and try and catch some of this volleyball because it's going to be high level all weekend long.
We're about ready to go in our third set. We're tied at one set apiece here between the Chicago team, who lights out in the black uniforms with the yellow skyline of Chicago imprinted in yellow, with the exception of the Libero jersey, gray jersey by Calvillo, versus Blizzard, black and white on, let's see, black shorts and the white tops, except for Libero, Kirk Francis. Looks like it may have some rotation issues courtside with the R2, Henson Leong, but looks like they're resolved by team captain Connor Eaton. I don't know, the music's getting Brandon Poindexter going here. I don't know if you want to get him going even more, because he'll just end up being, look, I got the block. You guys just back off, I got the block. He's just been playing that well. Going back serve, Noah Mader, forward lights out. Set number 3. Big serve, but into the floss. And Russ Holmes back in the lineup for Blizzard. Looks like there's some experimentation going on the Blizzard side, and the gamble in the second set was not as fruitful as they wanted it to be. We've got service error for service error to tie the score at 1 apiece. Connor Eaton serving. Charismatic leader of this lights out team so far. Francis with a hand pass. Fierce sets out to Hartley. Big bang by Hartley. Edges the block, and check out this bang.
Hartley just able to barely squeeze it past Hartley. Hartley on Hartley action right there.
That's right. Definitely related. Both big jumpers, both can bang away, so they're definitely related. Hartley rolls it, bringing the beach game inside. 3 serving 1.
Nice job by Hartley there.
Oh, yeah.
Mixing it up a little bit.
Well, after a bang like that, that's like of course, the total paradox of what he just did. Francis showing the hands. Hartley sending the fire. For serve no 1. Yeah, Francis looks great setter. Look at this ball by Francis.
Nice dig by the setter. Francis ready to set in transition here. And Hartley with a nice high swing down the line.
High ball out to Jamie and Hartley. Got to make sure we get that clear. Goldsmith, hand dig, right side attack, Overby. Goldsmith on a cleanup. Eaton sets Poindexter middle, dug by Irvin. Hartley blocked at the net, but goes out of play. Man, the Hartley matchup out there.
Timeout, lights out.
Yeah, 1-5, and team captain Connor Eaton requests a timeout. Not liking the lead expanding to 5, or a 4-point lead.
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot more defense from both of these teams, getting a little bit longer rallies, and just some great volleyball.
So as a team for lights out, what would you do on the adjustment side? Because obviously they've got consistently big players at all the positions. on the Blizzard side. So what do you do to adjust?
Yeah, I mean, just like what Connor said in the huddle, it's back to basics for them. I mean, they just need to start controlling the ball and being able to keep that ball in system. That way Connor can give a good set out to his hitters and get that middle attack going again.
They're back out on the court after settling down here. Cole Fears steps back to serve. Southpaw float serve down the line to Overby. Overby gets set right back. This time he knocks it off the block. A whole lot of net action going on.
Timeout, 2-5. And Overby back to serve.
Hartley getting rug burn from the rope on the net. 2 serving 5. Kyle Overby going back to serve. Overby from Lindenwood University. Jump serve goes long.
Scotty Hartley for the line.
Scott Hartley back to serve. 6'5" outside from Hawaii. Big jump serve misses long. I'm curious, Dalton, being that there was no professional volleyball league in the United States, what would players who didn't go abroad do to keep their skills up?
And really out here, the biggest thing players usually do is play a lot of beach. Living out in California, you basically have summer weather year-round, so you can always go down to the beach and play some doubles. But other than that is going to open gyms, and then in the past, the only real tournament that players would be able to go to is adult nationals. But other than that, it's tough to find high-level volleyball. So the fact that the NVA has made this showcase and possibly the start of an illustrious professional sport here in the U.S., it's exciting for a lot of these guys.
We got a technical timeout here at 8-3, and we just saw Russ Holmes wind up in the middle and bounce one cross court. They'll bring us to our first technical timeout in the third set. It's just a lot of really good excitement here on the court. I mean, even this morning's press conference with Rising Tide, the team who lost the first match, but you can tell it's like they were all excited to be playing in this NVA Pro Showcase. Now, obviously, they would have wanted the win, and they played a really good Iceman team, also from Chicago. And it basically was Team Louis Loyola with a few former MPSF guys sprinkled in.
Versus Team Santa Barbara
yeah.
for Rising Tide, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny to see all these guys who would compete against each other or even with each other, you know, during college, and then we're all back here doing it again. Like, it's like we're reliving the glory days, you know?
I would love to see how a Hawaii club team would look like.
That would be pretty impressive.
Let's see how many shojis come out of the woodworks. 8 serving to 3, Ian Castellana serving and into the net. 4 looking at 8, Jamian Hartley back to serve. 4 lights out. Hartley, the 6'7" opposite from Ball State University. Rolls that one wide and long. I think I may have gotten to his head talking while he was serving. We're in intimate quarters. We're right behind the lights out bench. So they'll let us know if they don't like what they hear. Ball's tipped out of play on the set that was outside the antenna, bringing Johannes Brinks serving 10-4. Ball sent in the middle by Noah Mater. Set out to Irvin, sending fire in the hole. Both blockers of Eaton and Mater were drifting to the outside pin, and Irvin just happened to see that seam and hit it right between. Overby with the pass to Eaton. Noah Mater blocked in the middle. Ain't nothing getting by Russ Holmes right now.
And Lights Out is just having a tough time getting some traction here in this third set. They haven't been able to pass the ball and get in system. And but also, Blizzard's defense and blocking has been on point.
Yeah. Service into the net. Point going to Lights Out. 5 serving 12. Tomas Goldsmith serving. Goldsmith, 6'2" outside hitter and opposite. University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee. My, oh my. It was thunder from the sky and it was returned. Irvin unleashed, but the block was bigger.
You get all three of them up there, and it's basically like the Great Wall of China up there. Good luck hitting past it.
3 ejection. You maybe should have tipped. 6 looking at 12. That was Eden, Overby, and Mater on the triple block. Big whip on the serve. Irvin drills down the line, dug by Hartley down the line. Eaton bumps that's Overby. Overby up and over. You got to rise up at the outside, and that's what Kyle Overby did. That's a beautiful play to the outside after that pass. Getting it out to Overby, watching his approach, and then hitting it over the block. Overby drills it down the line, saved by Hartley. Overpass attack by Eaton. Net violation called by Fears. And Connor Eaton gets himself a 1-for-1, hitting 1,000 on the lights outside. 8 looking at 12. Lights out down 12-6 at one point, now are within 4. Jump serve goes just a bit wide. 13 serving at 8. Stephen Irvin going back to serve. Irvin standing middle back on his jump serve. He's changing his approach area. He's more biased towards the right sideline in earlier sets. I wonder if he sees something. Off the head of Hartley. That's concussion causing. It's hit so hard. 9 serving to 13, and Noah Mater back serve. Got a little trash talk going on from the lights out bench. That's the thing about volleyball. Colorful personalities in the game.
Right, especially with Connor Eaton leading the helm. You're bound to hear a lot more of it, that's for sure.
Service goes long, point going to Blizzard, bringing Russ Holmes to serve. Russ Holmes from Fountain Valley, California. Tough serve, Overby with a good pass. Middle to Poindexter. Bangs it off the block, but no defenders. Making pursuit for Blizzard, and it's 10 serving to 14. Eaton steps back to serve. Eaton now finding his home in the Chicago area. Great set by Fears. Oh, that was a highlight reel right there. Hartley, when you're fed the butter, you got to feed.
You got to feast.
That was a beautiful set. And you could read the Mikasa logo as it floated out to that pin. Fundamentals crushing Blizzard right now on that great run.
Yeah, it's real tough. After you get a big swing like that, you really just got to put the ball in the court and let your block and defense take care of the ball.
Most certainly. Kyle Overby to serve for lights out, down by 4 to 11-15. Ball's passed by Francis. Fears sets out. Oh, gosh. The wall of shame has come back into play.
The Lights Out Roofing Company has come to build houses. It's
Look at
ridiculous.
this. All the blockers come together. Goldsmith, Poindexter, and Hartley extending the Chicago relations. 12 serving to 15. Jump serve goes long. Point going to Blizzard to reach our second technical timeout. As Blizzard leads lights out. 16-12. If you're just joining us, Blizzard took the first set, 25-21. And then lights out. Rebounds to take the second, 27-25. And we've got ourselves a show courtesy of Connor Eaton, the charismatic leader of lights out.
Eaton actually credits his recent volleyball success to Dustin Watton and getting him to jump on the vegan lifestyle and being a plant-based only athlete.
Plant-based only athlete. So that's up to 2 of them now between Dustin and Connor.
Yeah, exactly.
Dustin Watton on the USA men's national team playing in Poland. Zarni Radom, I believe. A few of the players here have played abroad in Poland. Not in our particular match here, but on other teams, other squads. We have guys who played all over the world, literally. So in this match, we've got players who played in Finland, Italy, Greece, Estonia, Puerto Rico, France, Czech Republic, Austria, Brazil, Turkey, and of course Poland.
Playing in all those countries is great, and it's an awesome experience, but I can't tell you enough how excited these guys are to actually play this high level of volleyball on American soil.
Hartley with a jump float, passed by Overby, high out to Goldsmith. Goldsmith off the block of Castellana and Brink.
It's back to a 3-point ball game,
13 serve to 16. Brandon Poindexter back to serve. Hartley with a good pass to Fears. Castellana with a windup and the swing in the middle. 17-13. Castellana stands at 6'5", the middle blocker from UC Irvine, former anteater. Jump serve goes long.
About a foot and a half. It is 14-17.
As Jarian Hartley steps back to serve. Great piece on Jarian Hartley over on Motor Men's Volleyball's Facebook page, talking about the opportunities that men's volleyball has provided for him, how it's provided a source of structure of family and fitness. So I'd encourage you to check it out at Motor MVB's Facebook page. Hartley tips it into the net. Point going to Blizzard, 18 serving to 14. Johannes Brink going back to serve. Brink played at Cal Baptist University, a now defunct men's program. As Jarian Hartley goes all rocket at the angle. 15 serving to 18.
Tomas Goldsmith at 15-18.
Jump serve by Goldsmith, pass by Hartley. Middle set to Holmes. And you're not going to see that happen too often, but Mater and Overby stuff Russ Holmes.
And you just see them that they're waiting here for this Mater basically committing. And Overby doesn't have anyone to worry about because you got Johannes Brink on the D ball, but they haven't set him at all this set lately.
I'm curious how Russ Holmes is going to respond after getting blocked. Jump serve into the net. At least they didn't celebrate overtly and excessively. They would have like totally sleeping tiger.
A little fake fire, yeah.
Yeah. Stephen Irvin back to serve for Blizzard. Jump serve toss is up, goes up and into the net. 17 serving to 19, checking back in for lights out, Larry Rather. Leaving number 4, Noah Mater. Rather back to serve. In his previous appearances, he served into the net.
Yeah, he's yet to make one. Let's see if he can step up and bring lights out back into this game.
There we go. Jump float. Fears sets high out to Hartley. Coming our way. What's the call on our side here?
Looked like Fierce was under the net. Was what they were calling him. Yeah.
Wow.
Pass was a little too tight, and
while you're
came down on
attentively
the other side.
paying attention to the officials' call, I was trying to defend myself from the cross-court bomb that came my way. Rather with another good serve. Francis with a hand pass. Fierce sets out to Hartley. Dug by Goldsmith. Saved by Overby. Hartley sets it over. Francis, free ball pass. Fierce out to Hartley. Sending fire in the hole. Don't know how Hartley got that by, but man, there was a very small opening out there. Not that Connor Hughes isn't huge, but he had shut down the line, which is all his responsibility was.
Yeah, Poindexter just having a little bit of trouble getting back out, getting all the way out to the pin, leaving a small enough seam for Hartley to be able to squeeze it through there.
And I did say Connor Hughes, I meant Connor Eaton. Condor, you can also play in this league too.
Yeah, for sure.
Hartley off the block.
Once again, Jamie and Hartley, 19-20.
Russ Holmes is playing deep defense down the line, expecting this rocket to come out the outside by Hartley.
He saw Kirk Francis get lit up, and he wasn't. I don't think he wanted the same thing.
Watching Russ Holmes in World League play, he's taking his share of bombs, though. Look at that, Hartley
On the outside, Scotty Hartley.
going to his Encinitas Beach game there. 21 serving to 19. Cole Fears back to serve for Blizzard. Fears from Palos Verdes, California. Hand pass by Calvillo. Poindexter hits it into the net, and it's 23-19. We're tied at one set apiece with Blizzard taking the first, 25-21. Then Lights Out taking the second, 27-25. Eaton, Castellano on the block on Poindexter. Right side attack by Overby. And he just unloads. And Francis was there, but I didn't quite see why he wasn't able to get that up.
I don't think he was up far enough, honestly. I think the ball bounced a few feet in front of him. Irvin left him the line, and after that, it was a flash.
Overby on back to serve, 20 looking at 22. Hand pass, ball taken by Irvin, which would have been an out ball. Castellano dug, middle back by Overby, free ball by Calvillo. Francis, Fears sets the middle, rejected by Poindexter. Fears right side to Hartley, dug by Eaton. Calvillo bumps that to Hartley at the right side, off the block. Look at that save by Irvin. Irvin goes back, sets it over. Overby on the free ball pass, Eaton back to Hartley. Hartley taking it downtown on the pound. Jerry and Hartley just unleashes the beast from within. And like that, Lights Out pulls it in one, 21-22. All right, I got a new play of the match now. We got some serious action here in this set.
There's been some high-level volleyball going on today, and that's just the beginning of it for this weekend, I think. We're going to see a lot more of that in these next upcoming days.
If there were first match jitters, they have all been shaken out.
That's right. They're all ready, and they're ready to compete and win now. That's for sure.
They're balling. They're balling big time, and they're leaving it all on the court. So I think I'd asked you in the previous match, but what is the speed of the ball that's being hit these days by top-tier players like this?
You know, the higher-level players are probably hitting the ball probably around 70 or 80 miles per hour. I think that's probably going to be the average speed of the serves and attacks for most of these guys.
We need one of those radar guns just for fun,
Yeah,
so I can call it out.
For sure. We could have it right here.
21 looking at 22. Kyle Overby going back to serve forward, Lights Out. Good jump serve pass by Francis. Look at that, nails. Oh!
There's that wall again.
You got to call the paramedics because someone got hurt on that one. Dang, that was a big block. Hartley and Poindexter saying, we rule this side of the roost.
Poindexter doing a real nice job of closing that block.
22-22. See, it's a double dismissal, double denial, double stuff. Jump serve goes long after a block like that. Oh, that's just such a rally killer. 23 serve at 22. Hartley back to serve, the former Rainbow Warrior. Tomas Goldsmith with a good pass to Eaton. Hartley off the block and out of play. He hit it so hard that it ricocheted on our side out of play to tie it at 23s as Ryan Owens checks in for Brandon Poindexter.
Number 2, Ryan Owens. And Owens will serve.
I'm telling you, there's some great enthusiasm on the lights outside of the court. I mean, you can tell that they like playing with each other.
That's for sure. This team's been together for quite some time. A lot of these guys from the Chicago area. A lot of them have been friends for years.
Yeah.
So it's cool that they get to experience this together.
Service goes long as we have our first set point for Blizzard in our third set. Ian Castellano to serve it up. Standing float serve. Calvillo with a good pass. Hartley off the block. The other Hartley trying to get it back up on defense. And we're tied at 24s. I think we have a toe-to-toe battle going on right here. Jamie and Hartley, 6-7 opposite, back to serve. Ball's passed by Scott Hartley. Johannes Brink goes cross court and delivers. And it's set point number 2 for Blizzard, serving to 24.
Great swing by Johannes there, but I think Overby knows that he can dig that ball.
Float serve down the line, pass by Tomas Goldsmith. Hartley and is rejected. Jaren Hartley, Russell Holmes, block, set number 3 going to Blizzard. Wow. And if you were getting any confidence, that just took it away. Russ Holmes was on it.
For the past 8 points, Jamie Hartley has been flying and banging the ball, but so is Scott Hartley. Right?
Yeah.
This match is almost Hartley versus Hartley. It's been really entertaining watching these two high flyers go at it, go back and forth with each other.
So that 4th set point, just seeing the composure of Russ Holmes just step up, get his hands up, it's like nothing. It's like, I got this.
Yeah, that's just another day for him.
And what else?
Yeah, exactly.
So Blizzard goes up 2-1 after taking the first 25-21. Lights Out takes the second 27-25. And we have another deuce set here in the third, but Blizzard comes out on top 26-24. Both teams are playing it really well. With the exception of like an unforced error here and there, which is to be expected. Right. They're just going for it. Both teams are getting some great defensive rallies, some incredible transition plays, and serving has just been lights out.
Yeah.
I was trying, how do I not say it without lights out? But I gotta say lights out. They're serving tough. So
I think Blizzard has just been more offensively consistent than Lights Out. Lights Out kind of goes in their spurts, and then their ball control kind of gets out of control every once in a while. And you got Kirk Francis, the libero for the Blizzard team, who has been just nails the whole entire match and digging a lot of balls. So he's definitely helping elevate Blizzard's game.
Watching Kirk play at Long Beach State, and he always was such a phenomenal libero. Or when we're bringing a serving or a defensive specialist, he's always a great go-to. If you needed a dig, he is the guy.
Right. You know what they say, defense wins championships, right?
Yeah. Whatever, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson, cameraman, is in the house. Seeing how the teams have adjusted, though, it's like the Lights Out made one adjustment. They brought in Tomas Goldsmith for Ryan Owens, and they've obviously benefited from that. And then you have Blizzard experimenting with a few of their lineups, switching out middles between Castellano, Holmes, and actually who's been in there the whole time has been, actually Meehan has got subbed out. So they're rotating out middles. Just speaks to how deep the middles are.
Exactly. Yeah, Tomas for Lights Out has, I think, brought a little bit more ball control than what Ryan Owens was offering to the team on the outside. And like I said earlier, Jamie Hartley is just bringing the heat from both the front and back court. But maybe look for them to try and get their middles a little bit more involved here in this 4th set.
Well, the only person I think that hasn't left the court have been Cole Fears and Johannes Brink. Oh, it's Stephen Irvin. but we've seen a couple changes at other positions on the Blizzard side. Oh, and Kirk, libero.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, why would you? He is literally anything that Jerry and Hartley is dishing out. Francis is not afraid to get in front of. So it looks like we're about to get started here in our second set. Blizzard now leads our best of 5 NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase, 2-1. Stephen Irvin, again, a local kid from Southern California, went to Pacific Palisades and the famed volleyball powerhouse high school, Loyola. The Cubs, coached by Michael Boley.
Leading 2-1, 1 set away from taking the match. Steve Irvin to start us off here in the fourth.
Irvin standing at 6'5", the former Cardinal. A lot of talent comes out of Stanford. And Long Beach State, as McKay Smith looks over at us here. Oh, and Dalton Hammerman, too. That's right. There's at least 200 Long Beach State guys playing on teams here. 1 serve and 0 after the long serve, but there is a lot of talent from around the country here. From different D1, 2, and 3 NAIA schools, club programs, but there is we're talent rich in the USA, and that's the whole point I'm trying to make is there are a lot of players that want to play somewhere. Russ Holmes back to serve, tied at 1-1. And maybe a little biased, but I mean, volleyball has some of the greatest personalities in the sport.
You definitely get a lot of characters when you're playing this game, that's for sure.
Kyle Overby with a centerline violation, but yeah, I just got a good look at his jump on his attack, and he is near the top of the pin when he's at full extension. A little pause and play. What's happening here? Holmes back to serve once again. Holmes stands at 6'8". A little soft jump float. Eaton with a one-hand magic. Fears back sets to Brink. Poindexter with a rejection. Calvillo steps in on the hand pass. Eaton to Poindexter. Okay, how quick Poindexter recovers after one big jump after another is mind-blowing.
It's pretty impressive for 6'8" to be moving around that quick and be that agile.
Yeah.
It's
big block.
Tough to beat, yeah.
Quick attack, another big block. Overby back to serve from Lindenwood University. Irvin, good pass to the net. Tip by Hartley. Pancake saved by Goldsmith. Irvin steps in again. Fears to Castellana on the tip. Eaton back sets to Hartley. Hartley knocks it off a Brink. Brink's pectoral muscle couldn't handle the heat. Two serving to 3. Lights out serving to Blizzard. Yeah, he was stuck between a hard and a rock place. He came charging in. The balls hit too high from the react and get his hands in front of him.
Not something that you really want to do when you got Jamie and Hartley in the ball. You're right.
I'd be playing defense on my heels. Yeah, my bad. Score's tied at 3s. Yeah, Jaron Hartley is putting some serious velocity on the ball. Cole Fears, jump float down the line. Bad pass off the net. Tip by Goldsmith. Hartley steps in the pass. Fears sets back to Brink. And he bounces it to deep corner. Brink knocks it down to the right side. Forrest serving to 3. Blizzard leading lights out here in set number 4. Float serve goes down the line to Overby. High ball set to the outside to Goldsmith. That's called the high ball havoc because it looked like an out-of-system play, so it looked like the only option was the high ball set to that left pin.
I'll tell you what, all the pin hitters from both teams are reaching at a super high level right now. I mean, they're all touching the ball at the top of the antenna, so it's really hard to block a lot of these guys.
Look at that little junk set from Hartley going to Irvin. He knocks it down out of the back row. You may want to collect your thumb out of that ball before you serve it, though. 5 serving to 4. Blizzard serving 2. Lights out. Cross-court jumper. Eaton sets the pick. Overby launches it out of the back row. Score's tied at 5s. Overby's an impressive player. And
here it is. I mean, just even though they got 2 guys up, Overby is just up so high that he's just putting down over the top of him.
Hartley on the jump serve misses a bunch of feet long. We'll call it 4 feet. 6'5" Blizzard. Ian Castellana serving for Blizzard. Eaton sets outside to Goldsmith, who's rejected, but we got a net called. Russ Holmes is saying it's on the other side of the net, and I think they're actually pointing at him. R2 saying, nice one. Score's tied at 6s. Tomas Goldsmith serving. You have a front row of Overby, Mater, and Eaton on the lights outside. Jump serve goes long. Looks like we're on a extended unforced error spree at the moment. Johannes Brink serving for Blizzard. Back set to Hartley, and Kirk Francis not able to handle the fire down the line.
7 up.
Wow, they gave him a lot of line on that ball.
Yeah, they did.
Tell you what.
He's been banging the ball pretty hard cross court for the past few swings, but that one, Kirk.
I'm pretty sure
didn't want a piece of that one.
David Lee would have popped that one up.
Without a doubt, David Lee would be all over that ball.
Ball's knocked long as we reach our first technical timeout with lights out leading 8-7. In the Midwest, there's obviously been the strong trend of improvement in volleyball. In the last 4 national championships on the collegiate level, we're seeing more and bigger clubs with a lot of talent coming out. And we're seeing that through Loyola, Lewis University, Ball State, all those Midwest MIVA schools, Midwest Intercollegiate Athletics Conference.
It's really cool just to see the sport growing so much. I think that's what's also allowed, the chance for this to happen this weekend with the NVA, with the showcase. Because the sport is growing so much, we have high talent athletes and numerous players spread out across the country. So we're able to get high-level volleyball coming from the East Coast, the Midwest, and the West Coast. So it's pretty cool to see all of it come together.
Well, to have such a desire to see more men's volleyball out there that is being tapped into, and you have the early bloggers, covering it like Vinny Off the Block, the Net Live, those guys. You got also things. What's the other volleyball blogs that are big? From the Pins. There's so many just little ones that have a special niche of followers that want to see men's volleyball grow. Hartley with a pass to the net to Irvin at the outside. Doug, I believe that's Goldsmith. Knocking off the block is Overby. Fears gets his feet underneath it on the bumps at the Irvin. Irvin, dug cross court by Goldsmith. Saved by Overby. Free ball. Looks like it's wide. Poindexter not making a whole bunch of mistakes, but that one was a free ball out of play. I think it's because it's not occurring at 12 feet above the net. That's why.
Yeah, he's not used to playing the ball below his waist.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great, great athlete to watch playing here. 8 serving to 8. Steven Irvin back to serve. Good serve pass by Calvillo from St. Ambrose University. Poindexter puts it away to make up for the last error there.
We got 9, looking at 8. Connor Eaton.
9 serving 8. Connor Eaton back to serve. Connor Eaton went to Santa Margarita Catholic High School, and that in itself was one of the big boys high school volleyball powerhouses in California. And they've got setters like, Cole Fears knocked down the right side. With the finish thought, Taylor Hammond went to Penn State, was a setter at Santa Margarita High School, and they recognize this name. There's another Sujo coming up who happens to be a setter for that Santa Margarita program.
That's right. The head coach of the Santa Margarita program, Justin de Blasio, owns 949 Athletic Club, where Suzhou plays.
Suzhou, we could use another setter in the NVA. We know that you enjoy your foundation job, but you can do this on the side.
See if we can bring him out of retirement.
10 serving to 9, lights out, serving to Blizzard. You know, Hoff's in Laguna Niguel. Tom Hoff.
I think he also helps out with the 949 Club as well.
Oh, wow. Cole Fears, a great backs at the brink, and Brink. Oh, it looked like it was in, but it was just wide. On the international level, there was a video challenge for a replay.
Oh, that's right. They call it the Hawkeye?
Hawkeye system, that's right. 11 serving to 9. Well, they're actually implementing the system in collegiate ball where there's TV at the matches, at least this year for women's. It was part of a few of them. That's an interesting element to the game. I like it, the suspense that it adds to the game, the video replay. Cole Fears back to serve for Blizzard. 10 looking at 11. Hand pass by Overby. Eaton back to Hartley. Irvin there. But that was just a fast ball, and the reaction time had to be really quick by Irvin in order to get his arms underneath it. I think he just happened to be in the right place, but couldn't move his arms fast enough underneath the ball.
Yeah, Jamie Hartley bringing a lot of heat again.
Okay, we need a radar gun. We just need to know, because these guys are hitting the spit out of the ball. Big hit by Goldsmith, splitting the block of Hartley and Castellana. 13 serving to 10. Castellana surprised the ball made it through, but the balls are being hit so hard at the outside. Float serve down the line. Irvin hand pass. Fears out to Brink. That was elevation, but unfortunately it was wide. Substitution for the first time coming in. We're seeing Marty Ross for Ian Castellana for Blizzard.
Blizzard having a little tough time gaining some traction here on the offensive side, so making a sub to see if they can switch the momentum a little bit.
Opting for 5 more inches of height in Marty Ross in the middle. He gets a set right away, and he hits it wide. 15 serving 10. Timeouts taken by Coach John Shea of Blizzard as they are now down 15-10. All right, your Coach Shea, what are you telling your squad right now? After taking a 2-1 lead, seems like they've taken their foot off the gas pedal.
I think they just need to calm down a little bit. They seem to be a little off kilt in their serve receive, and then when they're getting their chances to attack the ball, they're making unforced errors and hitting a lot of balls out. So just got to go back to the basics, stay aggressive, but I mean we got to make smart swings as well.
Yep. And then seems like there's something in their game plan. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but they're giving Jarian Hartley free reign down the line, which means Kirk Francis as a libero is having to take whatever heat he's delivering.
I think he's okay with that. You know, Jamian Hartley is a guy who's up so high, he can hit with a lot of range. So maybe they want to channel him over to Kirk Francis since he's the best defender on their team, and he has the most chance of digging Jamian.
Yep. There you go. And that's why we have you on board here. That color analysis. Francis the hand pass. Hartley off the block. Hartley saves his own block ball. Hartley with a poke by the block. Francis picks it up, but we got a net violation. Second technical timeout on the court as lights out now up a commanding 16-10. Looked like the Marty Ross strategy was going to work until the net violation came.
Yeah, I think Johannes Brink wanted that ball a little too much and getting caught in the net a little bit there.
Yeah, we'd be giving you guys some stats. We're having some technical difficulties with our live stat here. So although we have numbers, we just don't know who the numbers belong to. Hopefully we can get that up for you. But at least from our vantage point, I'm sure everyone has an opinion. We're seeing some good play from the libero for Blizzard. Kirk Francis, Johannes Brink, another consistent performer. And I'll let Dalton talk about lights out, the consistent performers over on that side.
Well, yeah, the The second and third set, the middles were really efficient for lights out, but they seem to have gone more to Jamie and Hartley, and they've just kind of been riding him because no one's been able to stop him for the past few sets.
Out of the timeout, 16 serving to 10. We got some kind of, we got a center line violation called. Wow, unforced error. Hand pass by Irvin. Fierce sets outside the brink, and he knocks it cross court for the blast. 11 serving to 17. Hartley back to serve. If I'm reading my stat sheet right, Scott Hartley has 10 points and is leading the way for Blizzard. Jump serve, a laser by Hartley. Shoots an attack, goes out of play. I don't know if Noah Maters took his arm back, but it looked like a pretty decent set, at least from our side.
You know, it's hard to tell if the connection was off or if the middle just wasn't there in time.
Jump serve into the net for a point, going to lights out. 18 serving at 12. Hartley steps back to serve, or Jay Hartley, because we have a Scott Hartley or S. Hartley here on the Blizzard side. It looked like an ace, but it was wide and just a little long. 13 serving to 18. Marty Ross back to serve. Marty Ross, interesting story, was at Pacific, and then they disbanded their program, transferred to UC Irvine to finish out his playing years. Unfortunate. Pacific was a great program. Left side attack goes long, and it's 14 serving to 18. Ross hybrid cross court. Thing just dipped at the end there, and Noah Mater. The backside blast. Mater, 6'7" middle from Cardinal Stritch University. Jump serve pass by either Irvin or Hartley. Brink off the block and falls out of play. 15 serving at 19. Blizzard trying to make a run, knock this deficit down.
Nice consistent play going back to Johannes, doing what he does, flying high and swinging high.
Right side, right-handed opposite hitters. What's more effective, lefties or righties?
I don't know. Usually, lefties are so unique that it's a replay here. Connor Eden with the dump says that he wants some part of the action as well. But back to what we were talking about, the lefties, you just don't see too many of them these days. So it's a lot different to block against a left-handed opposite than it is a right-handed opposite. So just as far as consistency, you don't see a whole lot of left-handed opposites these days.
They are pretty wicked. They just got that angle when they're on that side.
That's right.
Stephen Irvin serving, 16 looking at 20. Blizzard trying to chip away at the 4-point lead. Jump serve goes wide, 21-16. Yeah, if I were Blizzard, I'd be looking to go to Russ Holmes.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, they got to get a pass first here. Hopefully Kirk Francis can be aggressive on this ball.
You've got a wicked front row on the lights outside, though, with Hartley, Poindexter. Oh, Hartley knocking it off the block, 17-21. Yeah, and Goldsmith in the front row for lights out. That's 6'7", 6'9", and 6'2". Set in the middle to Poindexter. Russ Holmes with a stab dig. Unfortunately, unable to get it up. 22-17 for Lights Out. Kyle Overby back to serve. 6'5" outside hitter from Lindenwood University with a big arm swing. Pass by Irvin, set out to Hartley. He's blocked. And the man with the hops, Brandon Poindexter, just ate that up.
Just another great block by Poindexter there. I think Blizzard's got to be ready to covers Hartley on that attack, though. That ball landed next to 2 or 3 guys, and no one made a move for it.
Yeah. Overby with a jump serve again, goes into the net. 18 looking at 23 with Fears back to serve.
Fears at the line.
Fears stands at 6'5". Jaron Hartley. Wow. Better check to see if your fingers are on tack on that one. That was a blast. It's set point, Lights Out, serving to 18. Got a substitution for Brandon Poindexter. Checking in is number 12, Will Kraft from Carthage College. He played in Estonia professionally. Yeah, I think we're going to be going 5. Our first 5-setter. Making history here in the NVA. Johannes Brink off of Jarian Hartley. Eaton outside to Goldsmith, and Hartley and Ross with a return package. 19 serve to set point number 2. Hartley going back to serve for Blizzard. Back in is Brandon Poindexter for Will Kraft. Unloading is Hartley. Eaton sets the middle. Noah Mader puts it away, and we are going 5 for the first time in our NBA Pro Volleyball Showcase. As you may be hearing from public address announcer, MC and host Mark Sherman, we're going 5. First one of 15 takes our match number 2 of our NVA Volleyball Showcase match.
What's your predictions here, Rob? Who do you think's gonna pull out the 5th set?
Yeah, I'm not really digging the energy right now on the Blizzard side. Seems like they kind of tapered off at the end there. You know, they definitely have the physicality and talent. But, you know, I'm a SoCal boy, so for me to say this is hard. But Lights Out, I love the energy they're playing with. Between what Kyle Overby, Brandon Poindexter, and Jarian Hartley are doing, and Connor Eaton is just such a charismatic player in the court. Like, he provides such a boost. I enjoy watching that team play. So, Hart says SoCal, Head says Chicago. Lights Out. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, the atmosphere that this Lights Out team brings on and off the court is definitely one to reckon with. It's a really fun team to watch. And
for all 8 teams, Blizzard and Lights Out in the same pool as Icemen and Rising Tide. Those 2 teams played here on the stadium court. And the first match of the day, with Icemen taking it in 4 sets. On the other court, Pineapple versus Sizzle started things off, and Pineapple took the match 3 sets to 1. And we're getting an update on Academy versus LVC, which is currently going on. Or it might be over by now.
We're heading into a 5th set. We, you know, actually in the silence, we actually had a brain trust going on here. The brain activity between a few of us here. We're trying to figure out who the player of the match would be, but it's so balanced between the players that are out here. It's between 4 or 5 guys we can honestly pick at this point.
Yeah, with such a balanced attack coming from both teams, it's really hard to pick someone that's having a heavier influence on the game than the other.
Well, okay, so if we were to throw 5 names out there, who would your 5 names be as potential players of the match?
I mean, you got Scott Hartley, Johannes Brink, Jamian Hartley from Lights Out, Connor Eaton, the setter from Blizzard, and then you got, I mean, I'm going to throw in both middles. from Lights Out as well. I mean, those guys have had such a huge presence in this match.
See, I'd actually go with all yours, but I just got to throw in Kirk Francis.
Oh, of course.
Because I love when people can step in and take bombs. And
oh, that guy's putting on his armor. He's ready for war.
He's like, I don't need armor. In fact, I can do this with just a tank top and my Speedo shorts.
That's right.
He's feeling that confident out there.
Yeah, he usually is. He's got a certain swagger to him.
Yeah. So it's like, that's the thing about the game now with the addition of liberos, and they add a different kind of excitement because of what they're having to do. Like, yeah, it's great to see guys pounding away at the pins or in the middle and big blocks, but man, when they get dug, it's just as exciting.
Yeah, it's cool to see guys just, you know, basically just stand in there and just be ready to take it.
Yeah.
And not worry about getting a concussion or possibly hurting a limb. But Kirk Francis is definitely one of those guys to watch. He makes defense a lot of fun.
Marty Ross to start off our fifth set. It's a race score to 15, rally score. We're racing to 15 to find our first 5-set winner. We're in a 5th set tiebreak with Irvin taking a swing. Dug by Goldsmith, and swing away is Overby, and looks like Brink and Holmes clamp down. They're regulating, and Overby's been a tough player to stop on the lights outside.
Yeah, Brink and Holmes putting up a real solid block right there.
It's a 6'8", 6'9" over there on the block. Eaton sets back. Look at that little shake and bake. Oh, Marty Ross. I think that's career high dig number 1 for Marty, his entire career. He steps in and takes it, but unfortunately falls out of play. 1-1. Connor Eaton back to serve for Lights Out. 6-1 setter. 7-2 with the ego, apparently what Dalton Ammerman's saying. Hartley with a pass. Overby with a put away. Overby getting a little redemption after getting clamped down by Brink and Holmes on the previous play. 2 serving to 1. Question is, what player is going to step up here in the 5th? Great float serve. Irvin passes it well. Right side set to Brink. Overby. All right, if there's a replay of that, you got to see how he went up with a field goal and closed it.
Here we go. Overby by himself, but seeing where Johannes is coming in for his angle of his approach and just shuts him down.
In my neck of the woods, that's called a pink slip block. Float serve, pass by Irvin. Fears into the middle, and just like everyday business, the 8-5 guy, Russ Holmes, pounds away in the middle. Routine.
Just a walk in the park for Russell Holmes. They can keep passing like that. They might be all right in this 5th set here.
Goldsmith with a hand pass. Oh, wow, Overby. You know what? I think he's flipped the switch on.
I think he heard you talking about who's going to turn it on.
Overby, the Lindenwood Lion, former Lindenwood Lion. 4 serving to 2. Lights Out up by 2 early. Overby, a lot of spin on the toss. Irvin with a great pass to Fears. Irvin cracking it. That was the hang and bang. He actually hit that on the way down.
Great set by Fears there, getting Irvin one-on-one on the outside, opening up that angle.
Check out that replay. Yeah, he wasn't even at the peak of his jump. He's actually coming back down. Irvin back to serve. 3 looking at 4 here in our 5th set tiebreak in our NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase. Irvin goes into the net for the freebie for Lights Out. 5 serving 3. Brandon Poindexter serving. Poindexter, 6'9" middle blocker from Boston College. Is that the Terriers, Boston College? Fears on the quick attack to Holmes, who puts it away. I think Holmes got to be 5 for 6 right now.
Yeah, he's having a real solid match. They're trying to get the ball to him as much as they possibly can.
4 looking at 5. He has a pretty wicked serve, too. See what he does with it. Little hybrid with a lot of movement and quite a bit of speed. Holmes gets it up, goes hybrid, cross court to Overby. Hartley and Irvin, it was just a flash of light.
And Hartley just getting his feet to that set that's dying inside and going over Ross. That's gonna be a tough ball to defend.
Yep. Now, so Ross is standing at 6'9", 6'10", and he hit it over. Hartley with a jump serve. Passed by Hartley. Fierce back out to Hartley. Hartley, oh, that was an awesome shot down the line. It's like his body all showed hard angle, and he turned it last second to go down the line. Fierce with a beautiful set. Great tempo. Fierce getting it off the net. Eaton saves it. They try to play ricochet ball, which ties us at 6s. Great reaction on the other side, but unfortunately Hartley couldn't get enough underneath it to pop it high enough to go back over the net. Fears into the net this time.
This one goes into the net. Save.
7 serving 6 as Tomas Goldsmith steps back to serve. Goldsmith stands, they list him at 6'2", but he looks bigger than that, or has been playing a lot bigger than that. Got some quality heckling going on here.
Leave it up to another Long Beach State 49er to open up his mouth.
I guess we can reveal that it is. Hartley with a jump serve. Goes to Calvillo. Eaton sets the middle. And Marty Ross. And we switch sides. 8 serving 7. Marty Ross.
Just jumping in that cutback right there. That's a huge move by Marty Ross, making his presence known on that defense.
Oddly enough, he didn't even make the move. He just jumped straight up on that one. But I mean, that was a great hold instead.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Because they've been kind of pushing out with a little inside 3 set there, and Marty just stuck with it right next off the setter's shoulder.
I think Marty just threw out a couple dabs after blocking that ball.
He did his best.
First for everything here at the NVA.
Yeah. Hartley back to serve, up 8-7 here in our 5th set tie break. Overby passes off the net. Eaton with a bump set high back out to Overby. Okay, Brink is just huge. Chin above the net, arms penetrating. That's not going anywhere. And it was a trap set anyways. So it's 9-7 for Blizzard. Hartley with a jumper goes cross court. Hartley almost rotated into it. 8 serving 9. Larry Rather back in for Noah Mader. Rather need to get some serves in the last few substitutions. He's 3 for 4 in missed serves right now when he's been subbed in. Hybrid goes to Francis. Fierce sets out to Irvin. Irvin rather unable to get it up.
Steve Irvin.
10 serving 8 back in. Matter for it rather.
Marty Ross at the line.
Marty Ross back to serve for Team Blizzard. Ross listed at 6'9" from Frankfort, Illinois. Float serve pass by Goldsmith. Eaton sets the middle to Poindexter, which is where I'd go too. And of course he knocks it down. 6'9" middle from Boston College. 9 looking at 10. Connor Eaton back to serve. Eaton goes shallow cross court to Holmes, who has to pass it. And ball's hit long. Oh wait, we got a touch called somewhere. Which side called it?
11 now.
11 serve 9. I think the R1 called a touch, because our lines official that should have called it didn't.
Yeah, I think he got a piece of Poindexter's hands on that one.
Eaton back sets, great deceptive play. Overby drops it. 10 serving 11.
Russell Holmes and Irvin are in the right spot for that block there, but they're just reaching up too high and not penetrating across the net.
The problems of being 6'5" plus. which is amazing in the women's game. We're beginning to see a consistent 6'4", 6'5" now coming into D1 women's volleyball.
That's pretty scary.
Irvin rolls it. Dug by Eaton's coming out of play. Overby with save. Calvillo, actually Goldsmith takes it on the free ball over the net. Fears goes middle to Holmes. Dug by Eaton. Roll back over. Free ball over by Goldsmith. Picked up by Hartley. Back set to Brink. And he had nobody at the net. 11 serving 11.
Set, that's a crucial unforced error for Johannes Brink right there.
That was the golden egg that got stolen.
Lights out, making sure that they take advantage of that free point.
Oh, that's the beauty. It's like, yeah, because of these players all know each other, there's some quality bantering going on and gesturing. That's friendly and good fun.
Oh, you gotta love it. I mean, in that last play, Lights Out gave Blizzard that free ball.
Yep.
And 89% of the time, you know, you gotta convert in those transition situations, especially when it's a perfect situation. And unfortunately, Johannes burying the ball in the middle of the net is not going to work out for him.
Oh gosh, I was like looking at that big area he had down the line. All he had to do is roll it down.
Probably one of those sets that looked a little too nice, and you get too excited, and then
all show, no go.
Something like that. Drive for show, putt for dough. All you golfers out there.
Yes, we've got colorful euphemisms for free. 11 serving 11. Overby goes back to serve. Overby with a jumper. Pass by Irvin. Bias to the left side. Pokey by Holmes. Eaton sets right side to the hot hand. Hartley and Holmes. Oh, look who's fired up. Oh, I think he eats raw meat. We're not talking about a vegan-based diet.
Right here. Irvin setting up a nice block, and Russell gets all the way out and closes that seam. And you could tell he really wanted that one.
12-11, Irvin back to serve. Great save by Calvillo. Right side set to Hartley, and it goes wide. Not too many errors for Hartley, and it comes at a time that's getting crucial. 13-11 for Blizzard as Lights Out takes the timeout.
Some real crucial unforced errors late here in this fifth set.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty about volleyball. It's never over until it's over.
Exactly. It's anyone's game on any given day.
Well, you have teams that battle hard and just will persist. In last year in the MPSF, we had USC and UC Irvine in a second set. It was a 42-40 in the second set with Irvine taking that. And then 1 week later, Santa Barbara at Stanford was a 44-42 set.
Wow.
So it just shows the grit and grind of these teams, like never say die.
Yeah, for sure. That's the volleyball you gotta love, is just never giving up.
Yep. 13-11 out of the time out by Lights Out as Stephen Irvin continues service for Blizzard. Blizzard. Goldsmith with a knock off the block and a net violation. Fears stumbles into the net. Do we have a timeout? No, we have a substitution for Lights Out. So we've got Will Kraft checking in, but he's wearing Cody Caldwell's jersey.
I was wondering what was going on there.
Cody Caldwell, that Loyola team with the back-to-back national championships. And Russ Holmes drops it. We have match point. Our first fifth set match point here in the NVA. And checking back in is Poindexter for Kraft, and Russ Holmes serving it up for Blizzard on match point in our fifth set. Oh, we got a little hand clap going on here. Looks like we got a pause on the court. We're on hold.
Wait for it. Wait for it, and here we go.
We're ready to go for a match point. We were holding for a replay, I believe, but didn't occur, so we're back to match play. Match point for Blizzard, serving to Lights Out's 12. Jarian Hartley buys time. 13 served to match point number 2. All right. He's been hitting some hard jumpers. Do you tell him to unload, or do you say just keep it in?
I don't know. I think you definitely have to be aggressive in this situation here. I mean, you don't want to just keep it in and then go with an unforced error.
Oh, he took a little off that.
You don't.
Hartley gets the pass, gets the set, knocks it off the block, and ricochets like 10 miles out of play as Blizzard takes the 5th and the match, 15-13, with the total scores 25-21, 25-27, 26-24, 19-25, and 15-13. Excellent show here in only match number 2. We've had 2 back-to-back matches that have been just incredible.
Yeah, it's only been 2 matches here in the NVA showcase, and you couldn't be asking to be watching much better volleyball.
So what are some key takeaways in this match that really stuck out for you, Dalton?
I just think Lights Out struggled with their ball control early on in the match, and you know, it took them a little while to get in their rhythm, and Blizzard was just consistently, offensively consistent throughout the entire match, especially coming from their middles, Russell Holmes and Scott Hartley, out there on the pin, putting a lot of balls away.
Yep.
Both those teams are 0-1. Both had tough 4-set losses.
Well, yeah, you got to give props to Lights Out. I mean, that was a great effort, and they are a fun team to watch play.
Yeah, even though they just lost their first match here, I would not expect to see too many more losses from them in the rest of this tournament. They're definitely a fighting group.
So the looks like we're going to be going courtside in just a few moments, but you know, they're definitely, like, we're not exposed to the talent that's across the nation, and for something like this to see this, it's a great treat for viewers.
Yeah, as the day goes on here, we're starting to see more and more people start to walk in the gym. I think by Saturday and Sunday, we should get a pretty good-sized crowd in this gym.
Friday afternoon, the rodeo's in town, and so's the NVA. And, you know, like I said, you know, with this 3-2, our first official 5-setter in the NVA, to happen so quickly. I thought it was going to happen the first match, but, you know, it was bound to happen with the telling. And a 15-13 5th set, and we're going courtside.
Hey guys, Mark Petrakis here with the NVA. We're here with Scott Hartley, our player of the game for match 2, Blizzard versus Lights Out. Scott, congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the game. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, it's the first game of the year, first big tournament, so we want to come out with ball control first. I mean, it's fun to hit. I love hitting. I love bouncing balls, but coach always harps on passing the ball first, and that's what I try to do. Didn't do as good of a job as I could have done, but man, it's high level. This is like same thing as playing in Greece, just in America. It's awesome. I love it.
I mean, you had some pretty monster kills there, some pretty clutch digs and hits. Tell me a little bit how it was playing with Holmes and Johannes and Cole. And I mean, great sets, great hits, great blocks.
Oh man, it's just high level. So you can expect them to make a great play. You can expect Cole to put in the best spot in the world. I mean, every time they get set, I feel like a sigh of relief because I know it's going down. It's just high level volleyball. It's fun to be here. It's just fun that it's in America. It's fun that I can sleep in my house and play here. And oh man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back in the States.
Awesome. How are you guys prepping for your next game?
You know, we're gonna look. We had some coaches scouting the other team. We're gonna go over that. Coach John, Coach Vinny, Coach Ryan, they always have us going over some pretty major schemes. So it's just like any high-level team. It's awesome. I feel very comfortable here. I'm having a good time so far. So, yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, congrats again.
All right.
Look forward to the next match, and we'll see you guys later.
Hey, volleyball fans, you just missed it. We concluded our second match of the NVA Pro Volleyball Showcase as Team Blizzard from Southern California, Lake Forest to be exact, just narrowly edged out Team Lights Out from Chicago, Illinois, 3-2 in a 5-setter, 25-21, 25-27, 26-24, 19-25 with a deuce set in the 5th, 15-13. Catch more of the action here at NVAUSA.com. We got 2 more matches today, and I'm with Dalton Ammerman. For Dalton, we are out.